back to On the Workbench. Today we've got an unboxing here and look at a Woodpeckers tool. This is a OneTime tool that recently came back by special order. If you're on their mailing list, you can sometimes find when they are released their OneTime tools for special one-off sales. And I found one that I've been looking for. I didn't want to buy the whole set when it came out as a one-time tool, and this is the Woodpecker Corner Radius Quick Jig. And so here's the packaging as it comes out. I think this is probably my invoice. Yep, that looks like my invoice. And so this came shipped very well. And here's the part that I ordered. There's a variety of these that you can get in different sizes. I ordered the size that I thought I would use most. And so this contains the Radius Quick Jig inside the foam. Let me grab my scissors. And on the foam, so here's the Radius Quick Jig. This is the 3/8 radius on one side. I flipped around, it's a 1/2 inch radius on the other side. There's these little side walls here to help align with your workpiece. This would be, you'd put the other side down, so the side to align with the 1/2 inches at the bottom, you just flip it over and you go around to the other side. And so this is to help you make this quick corner radiuses. And this one does 3/8 and 1/2, but they've got a whole set of these, even metric ones. But this was a one-time tool. But if you watch carefully, this is from July of 15. I'm recording this in August of 16, when this went on sale again, when they were trying to presumably get rid of some of their excess supply. But they might have kept for warranty purposes, and then every now and then, they'll even resurrect some one-time tools from the dead and remanufacture them and make them available. So if you're interested in some high-quality machine tools from Woodpeckers, make sure you sign up for their mailing list. You definitely pay for what you get. This was about $40, but the reason why I wanted this, I know I could make one myself, but just the precision of having this as a 1/2 and 3/8, without having to have any guesswork, just helps to eliminate one more source of error in my woodworking. And so I thought this would be a good investment to have around the shop. I've got a ruler, and all their tools are actually really great quality, and I'm not being paid to say that, but they do definitely charge a premium for that quality. It's made in the USA, and so if we look at the instructions that came with this, they even provide some handy reference material showing how to use this here with a flush trim router bit that has a bearing on top. And this is designed to be used in a router table, so you'd push this and line this up around, and then it should flush up to create the corner that you're looking for. As you pull it back, that's what the hole is in the middle here, is for your thumb or your other finger to be able to hold this down onto your workpiece. I'll show you how to use this in the garage when we go outside and get the setup on the router table. Okay, we're back at the router table out in the garage workshop. And I've got the Corner Radius Quick Jig here, and just a scrap piece of oak that I'm going to demonstrate this jig on here for you. And so what I'm going to do with this, the first thing that's important to pay attention to is your material is going to need to be wide enough to be able to span from the right edge of this fence to the gap on the other side. And that gap is going to be approximately 2 inches. And so if your stock is less than 2 inches wide, you'll want to perform this operation before you rip it to length. And if you've got another extra corner, you'll just have to be careful about how you handle that. And that extra length there allows for the return of the curb, or not the curb return, but the return of the corner back to the workpiece. And because the way that these fences are at right angles to each other, for perfect alignment, your board is going to need to have both of its edges at a perfect 90 degree angle to each other for optimal capacity. And so I've got my board here, and you can see how this fits around the board like that. I can keep it kind of flush. Your material is also going to need to be thick enough. This is, let's just double check what the depth is there. The material is going to need to be at least about a 1/4 inch thick for this to work. If it's less than a 1/4 inch, the jig will get in the way. And so now at the router table, what we've got is I've got a flush trim router bit with a bearing on top. And then with this, I've got this set so that the bearing is going to ride on the guide, and then my cutting head is only going to touch the wood and not the aluminum guide. I don't want to accidentally be routing the aluminum. If we look at the way this is set up here for the route, we've got our long grain here on the edge here, then we've got end grain over here. I'm going to want to set this up so that I'm actually starting on the long grain, then ending in the end grain. It's going to help to minimize damage and tear out to make my cut as ideal as possible. And so now let me make a quick demonstration here of this jig in action. When using a router, always make sure you've got your safety glasses to keep your eyes safe while performing the operation. On the cut that I just made, if we look at the corner here, there's a little bit here at the end here. I can come back and either sand that off or tweak the router bit height up just a hair more. I can see I've got about the height of a paper that I can raise up my router bit. And so then here I've got my return of my bit coming back, and it's nice and smooth on either edge. And it comes out. There's a little bit of imperfection here on the end of the end grain. You may have to sand out some imperfections, especially on end grain and if your corners are not at 90. And so it's just that easy to be able to make this 90-degree turn. This was a 1/2 inch. One other final tip is when you're trying to get the right corner alignment, remember that this jig has two sides. The 1/2 inch is this way and the 1/2 inch is still this way, and you might have to flip your jig over to be able to get to the corner. So on this corner here, since I can't fit the jig this way, I flip it over, and now the jig will go this way with the same side up on the workpiece for my routing. So I hope you found this useful on the Woodpeckers Radius Quick Jig, and have a great day.